very recently, as our audience is expanding rapidly, that always makes the right-wing extremist doxers very, very angry. And the amount of hate and death threats that we get are frequent. It's done. I don't even want to give people ideas to explain how it does, but it often takes a variation where people go after our family members. Mm-hmm. And so in this one particular individual, and I want to tie it to money corrupting, absolutely, and what we support and what we don't support, obviously. So this individual went on my Instagram account, which I barely use, my Instagram account, and 173 weeks ago or so, it was Mother's Day, and I wrote, "Happy Mother's Day. Such an amazing brunch to have with my mom, whose birthday's also tomorrow. Happy B-Day. Love you." And this was before we started MeidasTouch, or MeidasTouch was even a thought. And so someone went in and wrote to my mom, and they wrote to her name, they wrote, "You spawned 3 whining socialist, communist panties. Congrats." And the person's called Sheep Dropping is what their thing.
It's a fitting name.
They have some photo of them of sheeps wearing masks. And I think this is like a meme that Alex Jones used, but I want to just reflect on 1 second about how much of a weirdo, disgraceful person you have to do to go and make that message to my mom. Like, what a low level person. And that's one of the things we want to point out too, is that this is why we got to turn out to vote, because there are people like Sheep Dropping out there who want to take control and take power over you. And this is the world they want. This is the disgusting world they want to leave in.
And nobody's going to come after
the other
Meidas.
point. And the other point I want to make, though, is that supporting capitalism means that you don't have to give billionaires a version of billionaire socialism. Like, the billionaires are not the ones who should always get the tax cuts and the breaks and the debt relief and whatever advantage in the world happens. The Republicans want to cater to this billionaire class. And there's something that interesting that happens within capitalism. It's when billionaires realize, you know what? What if I had no competition? What if I could just be an oligarch? And what if I didn't have to actually deal with all of that? And because that instinct, over time, our country developed things like antitrust laws and trying to stop the aggregation of power and to stop an oligarchy so that people can truly compete in a capitalistic system, which is the greatest system in the world when it functions the way it should function, and when it functions with compassion as well. And when it functions for compassion with people who are left behind, and making sure that you provide opportunities and that you have safety nets for people and that you care and that you support things like a living wage. And that's why Biden's support is not trickle down economics, it's middle up economics. And the Republicans support, who knows what they even support anymore, because their fucking platform is weird as hell. But to the extent they support trickle down economics, the very concept of it, though, is the most offensive idea in the world. Give money and benefits to billionaires and let it trickle down on us little peasants. Let it trickle, 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 trickle. And maybe I'll get a little, that's what their view is. Maybe I'll get a little droplet of the little sweat.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
That falls off the billion. I'm not even going to say it, but that is what their view is versus no. Let's empower on Labor Day. Here's my message. Let's empower workers.
Yes.
Let's empower labor.
Yes.
Let's strengthen unions. Because how do we start the engine of our country? By actually starting the engine of our country. The people that work are our engine, and that's where we need to fuel. And so when people think, oh, 3 whining socialists, communists, dude, your entire radical right platform sounds like the most fascist Hugo Chavez, Fidel Castro style platform in the world.
I mean, Ben, think about what they've been able to delude these people into. I mean, it's tied together, because just like they were able to get that crowd of people who claims to be, oh, boo China, boo America first. They were able to get them to they were able to get them to stand up and applaud for Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. Let's just think about that. These are the America first folks, right? Trump got them to do that. Like, our adversaries could not wish any more than that. Like, it's unbelievable.
And by the way, with the Ukrainian offensive, counteroffensive working, with Putin showing just how frail and weak he is, the fact that these Republicans look at that and go, that's the model that we want, really? They're losing to a country that's sitting next to it that has a fraction of their resources, because strong men like that, guess what, aren't really that strong.
Mm-hmm.
They have inflated egos that need to be appeased. So when global pandemics hit our shores, they don't take it seriously.
And the other thing I was going to add to that is, so they were able to get them to applaud for those quote unquote strong men, right? The America First people. Now, the same people are also applauding for literal billionaires. They got them to somehow, instead of working in their own interests, applaud the billionaires who are taking advantage of them every single day. And it's all tied together, and it's all what this propaganda is for at the end of the day. It's not even power for power's sake. It's power to gain riches. It's power for power. It's all the above, and these people are falling right in the trap. And sheep dropping is the appropriate name for that person who made the comment.
This November is Rovember. MeidasTouch just released its brand new collection of Rovember t-shirts and pins to let the country know what's at stake this upcoming midterm election. Go to store.meidastouch.com to grab yours. That's store.meidastouch.com.